A total mystery has just been revealed. For years, we've wondered what makes Marc Márquez so dominant. We thought it was just talent, but what Marco Bezzecchi just confessed after their insane duel points to something far more sinister. You are about to witness the dawn of a new era, where the line between human and machine has just been blurred forever. This is a story you won't hear anywhere else. Marc Márquez. The name is synonymous with victory, and once again he has carved his place in MotoGP history with a performance for the ages. The Spanish Ducati Lenovo rider was in a class of his own, storming to a sensational victory in both the sprint race and the main event at the Bezzecchi Park circuit. It's a phenomenal record, extending his winning streak to 7 consecutive races this season, cementing his place as the new ruler of the modern MotoGP era. It's a total showdown, and he's been the only fighter in the ring. The main race of the Hungarian MotoGP was a blazingly hot affair right from the off. The crowd's roar was deafening as the lights went out. Marco Bezzecchi of the VR46 racing team, a real fan favourite, made a scintillating start. He shot straight into the lead after Marquez suffered a rare blip, running slightly wide in that tricky opening corner. Was it a genuine mistake? Or was it a cheeky little mind game to lull his opponent into a false sense of security? We may never know, but it set the stage for an intense, dramatic battle. And intense it was. The two riders went at it hammer and tongs, even touching bikes in a moment of pure, unadulterated racing drama. It was a brutal move that dropped Marquez to 3rd place, sitting behind Bezzecchi and the ever-present Franco Morbidelli. For a moment, the VR46 team must have thought this was their day. Bezzecchi was looking strong, his pace was immaculate, and he was holding his own. He was the undisputed leader, his movements on the bike fluid and confident. But you can never, ever count a champion out. Marquez's champion's mentality kicked in. He knew what he had to do. He needed just 3 laps to make a meal of Morbidelli. It was a clean but ruthless move, a clear statement of intent. "Get out of my way!" it screamed. With Morbidelli dispatched, his sights were set on Bezzecchi, who had a lead of nearly a second. But a second is nothing when you're being hunted by a man on a mission. The crowd held its breath as Marquez began to chip away at the gap, a relentless pursuit of a rider who had, until that point, been flawless. On lap 11, the crucial moment arrived. With a brilliant, jaw-dropping manoeuvre at the end of the main straight, Marquez went for the kill. He swooped past Bezzecchi and, in the space of just 2 laps, opened up a gap of nearly 2 seconds. It wasn't just an overtake, it was a declaration of dominance. He didn't just pass him, he absolutely destroyed him. From that moment on, Bezzecchi knew his race was over. You could almost feel the mental energy drain from him. The 8-time world champion from then on was unstoppable. He glided across the finish line in a time of 42 minutes, 37.681 seconds, a full 3 seconds ahead of the young, fearless Pedro Auster in 2nd place. And Bezzecchi, his dreams of victory shattered, had to settle for a respectable but ultimately disappointing 3rd. The silence of his team in the garage spoke volumes. After the drama-filled race, the cameras swarmed Marco Bezzecchi. You could see the sheer frustration and exhaustion etched on his face. His lightning start, which had given him so much hope, had ultimately come to nothing. As he spoke in his post-race interview, you could hear the raw emotion in his voice. His head was down, his shoulders slumped, as if the weight of a monumental struggle was still crushing him. He described his duel with Marquez as the most draining and frustrating experience of his career. He was on top of his game. The bike felt good. He gave it his all. But as he put it, something entirely different was happening. "I gave it absolutely everything from the very first lap," Bezzecchi explained, his voice quivering slightly. "The bike felt fantastic, and I was aggressive, so I really thought I could hold the lead. But as soon as Marquez started to close in, it felt like I was being chased by something abnormal. And then came the bombshell, the phrase that sent a shiver down the spine of every fan and pundit in the paddock. "He was truly like an alien," Bezzecchi said, his eyes wide with a mixture of disbelief and defeat. "Even when I was defending myself desperately, he just always found a gap. He was on a different level. He wasn't racing against me. It felt like he was playing a completely different game." What is this mystery surrounding Marquez's performance? Is it simply raw, undeniable talent? Or is there something more? Whispers in the paddock suggest his bond with the Bezzecchi GP 25 is something truly unique, a technical harmony that no other rider has ever achieved. Bezzecchi's words have given new life to these rumours, a symbiotic relationship between man and machine that gives him an unfair, almost supernatural advantage. But whilst one Ducati rider reaches the stars, another appears to be falling to earth. This positive story contrasts sharply with the fate of his teammate, Francesco Bagnaia. The reigning world champion looks to have well and truly lost his golden touch. In Hungary, Bagnaia was a right mess, appearing to struggle to find any kind of rhythm. He languished outside the top 10 in multiple practice sessions, and his attempts to get to the front in the race always ended in disappointment. You could see it in his body language. He wasn't relaxed. He wasn't confident. He looked like a man haunted by his own struggles. This situation has only reinforced the impression that immense pressure is now looming over Bagnaia. The presence of Marc Marquez in the Ducati Lenovo garage is casting a long, dark shadow over him. It's clear that Marquez has adapted far quicker to the Bezzecchi than Bagnaia, who seems to be trapped in a vicious cycle of self-doubt and inconsistent performance. Former world champion Jorge Lorenzo has also weighed in on the situation, and his words were a stark warning. "Pecco is a great rider, but he may be better suited to the number one position on another team where he can lead without pressure," Lorenzo bluntly stated. "This could be at Aprilia, Honda, or even Yamaha. If he stays at Ducati, he will always be suffering because of Marquez." This isn't a theory. It's a cold, hard dose of reality. It's a bitter pill to swallow for the two-time champion, but it's got the entire world talking. Will he listen to this advice? Will he break away from the team that has brought him so much glory, all to escape the shadow of the baby alien? This is no longer just a sporting rivalry. It's a psychological battle for survival. After his brilliant performance in Hungary, Marc Marquez is now firmly at the top of the standings. His 7 consecutive wins, including both sprint and main races, make him the most dominant rider this season. This impressive record symbolises Marquez's complete and utter transformation. He's back, he's faster than ever, and he's on a machine that seems to be bending to his will. It seems only a matter of time before MotoGP 2025 brings Marc Marquez back to the top of the World Championship. Even more terrifying for his rivals, the baby alien shows no signs of slowing down. He is a force of nature, an unstoppable engine of pure speed and aggression. So here's the burning question: can anyone stop Marquez this season? Will the pressure on Bagnaia finally lead to a mental breakthrough, or will he crumble? The next race isn't just a race, it's a battle, it's a war, it's the ultimate showdown, and we'll be here to witness it all.